Hi, this is Lady from Keep Unfrozen Ministries. Isn't nature magical, incredible, absolutely amazing? I certainly think so, and this is a time of year when actually things are going over and being kind of stopped. But I'll come back to that in a moment, because as I think about nature and all the elements that just blow my mind away, I can only think of the Creator and how He blows my mind away. But I am what I call putting my garden to bed at the moment, which, like all gardeners, it means pruning, cutting back, just doing all the tidying up kind of jobs, and then planning for what's going to come into the next year. And by that means putting bulbs in, because as I put the bulbs in, they are just brown and very they don't look anything, do they? They are just so, well, I'm going to say ordinary, but they're just so non-anything. They're just this lump of potential, just this lump of brown and, a bit solid with hairs hanging out the bottom. But when we plant them, we know that in just a few months' time, they're going to turn into things of beauty, and how much they transform the garden and herald spring coming in. So I've got a few hundred bulbs to plant in my new gardens that I'm creating. So all these bulbs are going in: the daffodils, the tulips, the crocus, the snowdrops. I can go on and on with the beauty of plants, of bulbs that I put in. But that just makes me think, what is really happening? Because to me, it's all underground. Nothing, I can't do anything more. I put them to bed and leave them. But there is a lot going on, because that bulb has to mature. It has to decide to leaf up. It has to make its way from where I've put it to above ground. And so all this is being done. And other plants too, they seem to be resting, but actually they're probably growing their root systems and just getting stronger and stronger for the following year. It is just incredible. And as I think about this garden, I think about heaven and what heaven's gardens are like. And some friends said to me recently, you think our gardens and our nature is just incredible. You think it is the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. But when you get to heaven, it will be even more. It will be more magnificent, more colourful, more high-tech, more technicolor, more. Because we still have blots on our landscape. Some of those balls might come through, but some of those bulbs might be diseased and nothing will happen. But in heaven, there is no such thing as disease. Everything is as it should be, including you and I. So I looked into the Bible a little bit, and of course you immediately go to the Garden of Eden in Genesis, but actually gardens are mentioned in all kinds of places. They're mentioned in Exodus, and Moses talks about meeting God and seeing pavements in heaven made of sapphire. In Ezekiel, they talk about gardens, and that gardens are just so beautiful that the cedars, other trees are jealous of the cedars. And even when we talk about the story of Lot, who was the nephew of Abraham, he then, had most marvellous gardens surrounding him before he had to flee. So there's a lot about gardens, and in the Lord's Prayer, when we ask for the God's heaven, His kingdom to come down to earth, we're just asking to see more and more of His glory. But actually, until we go to heaven, that's when we will really see it. So this meantime, have a look at the blog. I go into some of the biblical stories in a little bit more detail and take some of those comparisons. And meanwhile, I'm going to go out and plant more bulbs. And when I do, I shall plant each one and think of people in heaven as I do. Lady AD, keep 'em frozen.